What's up, crew? Welcome to Be Your Inspiration. Go ahead, like, comment, share, and bang that subscribe button and enjoy the ride. Today, I bring you a collab that I'm doing with my pops from the Make a Change Falling Some podcast, as we are bringing you the 7 Life Pandemic series, and it's going to be something you do not want to miss. It will hit you in the core. It's the things that have been going on since the beginning of time that's affecting mankind daily. So we hope that you enjoy these next 7 videos brought to you by Be Your Inspiration, collabed with the Make a Change Following Some podcast. Enjoy. You have to continue to understand that this journey of life is rough, and it's not a guarantee each and every day that we have the opportunity to go after our goals and dreams. So with having our faith high and understanding oneself and having an amazing creator, we have that opportunity. We pray for that opportunity to where we continue to move forward on our journey and go through these obstacles that, of course, await us. And we've learned on this journey now to make adjustments, to make key adjustments, and to change the way we look at things, our perspectives, right? And we continue to evolve. Just like the world continues to change, we must continue to change and be better. But we cannot wait for the world to change. We need to change what we want to change, right? So we continue to do that. So that, again, goes to our creator for giving us that ability to go out there and create our life to be better. And so we've put these tools in place to work on ourselves, to continue to prosper, to continue to elevate to another level on our journey of life. So again, I thank you all for being here. I thank my creator for allowing this opportunity and this platform to continue to impact the world one life at a time. So we thank you. We thank you for being a part of Make a Change Following Some podcast. And of course, we thank you for being a part of Be Your Inspiration. So with tonight, we're getting into materialism on this series of the 7 Life Pandemic. And, excuse me. And what's crazy about this one is that a lot of people get materialism a little confused, right? As it's buying, things and flashing and all that stuff, like that matters, right? Like all those things matter. That defines you. Well, the true thing is that it shows this. Materialism is kind of on this more of a slate, right? Shallow and you're selfish. Those two things. And it took me doing some research to find those two things. That you're shallow and that you're selfish. That being materialistic or materialism, right, isn't just about needing everything in life, right, to be tangible and to prove something that proves who you truly are. But showing that you're selfish and that you're shallow, that truly does. That shows you that you're a materialistic individual, that everything matters and only matters to you. That's where the selfish comes into play. And we've been conditioned, just like all 3 that had led us up to this one on day 4, we have been conditioned by society, these things. That we must have all these things, the nice house, the fancy car, the woman or man, the funds to prove ourselves. Not letting you know that you can have all those things internally. You can have all those things with a vision. You can have all those things with clarity and understanding of who you truly are first. Holding yourself at a higher level of respect, not a shallow, selfish individual. You see, what a lot of people have done with being materialistic and thinking that those things, define them. You're creating a safety through stuff. You're creating a safety, like a safety nest, through objects, through materialistic things. That's an illusion. Creating a safety net with objects such as, the high-end home, the fancy car, that's an illusion. When you're not You're not well-sounded within yourself, well-grounded within yourself. So you tend to put stuff in your life to bring happiness. But you forget that that stuff eventually becomes waste, becomes something you hide. You become a hoarder and you forget about it. And it doesn't bring you happiness no more. Why? Because you tend to evolve. You have now changed. You moved on from those things in life that don't matter, that don't benefit you. But at that moment, you thought that all that stuff would push you to the next level, would guide you to the next level, would give you the green light. That's what society and the enemy wanted you to think. Right? So what people tend to do is you find happiness in all those objects, all that stuff. You think that's happiness. You think that's glory. You know, and I see it today a lot more than ever before. Where people find happiness in, I guess, one up with materialistic things. But their mind is trash. Their soul is weak. And they are selfish and shallow. They care about themselves. They wouldn't help another. That's what life has taught us on this journey. That's what the enemy and society have taught us. That's the real pandemic. That's why there's so much dividing amongst us as people. We tend to divide ourselves based on, right, categories. The high end, the middle class, the poor. But have you ever asked yourself this? That person that may be poor, their mind is more pure and rich than that person that has all the money and that has the materialistic things. I would guarantee that that person, even though they are poor and don't have the home and the fast car, have more joy than the individual who has those materialistic objects, that stuff that they claim has brought them happiness, but actually has teared them apart, mentally, physically, and spiritually. You see, I was once one of those individuals where I thought I needed all the jewelry, all the cool stuff, the clothes, the cars, any of those things to get likes, to get people to want to hang out. To realize that was one of the worst mistakes of my life. But that's been a pandemic that has affected people since the beginning of time. And we now see it even more. We truly see it now even more. Because we have an understanding, we have a clear vision, we're very observant on those things. Think about this. That stuff that supposedly brought you happiness at one point, right? When did it last bring you happiness? Don't worry, we'll wait. Because I'm sure it brought you joy for maybe the first day you bought it, maybe a week. But does it still bring you the same joy and that same excitement that it did the day that you purchased it, the day that it came into your life? Probably not. Something else has taken its place. Something else has moved into your life. So you see, going out there and wanting all that glory from having being materialistic and wanting, that lavish lifestyle, it costs. And it has its negative turnaround. The joy is not there, people. Society has thrown that at you that, hey, this will bring you happiness, but it's temporary satisfaction. You need to change your perspective on things. You need to change the way you see things. You need to change who you truly are. And that starts within. That pandemic of materialism has even killed people. Greed. Greed has gotten in the way. has taken lives, many of lives. That person didn't want that individual to be better than them and show out, and chaos struck. It causes conflict. But when you're centered into who you truly are, yes, centered into who you truly are, none of those things matter. When you keep yourself centered, not having things control you, you have a grip on your life. You do not let that life pandemic consume you. You've evolved. You've changed. You look forward to what's to come in your life, not something you have to buy. It's important that we continue to work on, these life pandemics, that we continue to really look into ourselves and allow ourselves to get a grasp of these pandemics. You see, because the one that's out there now and it's affecting lives and causing fear, right, which is false evidence appearing real. It has an effect on people, but in a negative way, driving people to insanity, driving people to depression, anxiety, stress levels are through the roof right now. Even suicide. So see, that's just another one that's added on to the list. That was made in a lab. But the 7 Life Pandemic series, that was since the beginning of time. And that wasn't made in no lab. So what we need to do is start really looking in on the things that mean most to us. And stop looking to find happiness in objects and stuff. Because what we're forgetting and what we have forgotten for so many years, decades, is that stuff eventually disintegrates. It has no value. It has no purpose in our life. We've changed. Times have changed. So we must seek happiness and joy from within. From within oneself. And that's where I think a lot of people fumble the ball. That's where a lot of people get into, a negative downward spiral of oneself. Because they realize at that point that working on themselves is extremely hard. But no one told you from the get-go that it was going to be easy. Society has told you, just buy this will take the pain away. Do this, that will take the pain away. And what they told you as the things that you purchase, the things that you own, end up controlling you. Instead of you controlling you. Now these objects, now the things that you've purchased on your journey, they now control you and who you truly are. And that's what you classify, and that's what society has classified as, that's what defines you. You see, society, the enemy, has put out there for you temporary satisfaction. Temporary satisfaction. They want you to have a little bit of glory, a little bit of shine, but then you're right back where you started from. They want to give a little and take all, but so much more. But when you take control of your life, when you don't let those things control you, and when you know the things that make you happy and keep you happy for a lifetime, you've overcome this life pandemic of materialism, of greed. You don't try to outshine the other individual. You give a helping hand. You don't look down on someone less fortunate. You pick them up. But I'm telling you, on your journey, now that you've become observant, now you've seen these things, I'm sure you've seen, and I hope that you haven't looked down on someone less fortunate than you. Because if you have, you're selfish. You're shallow. And you base yourself in that category of materialism. A life pandemic that has been going on since the beginning of time. Give. Keep giving. It don't have to be money. It don't have to be any object. Your time. Your light. Your knowledge. Those things people can take with them forever. They can always remember you. That's you leaving your mark. That's you leaving your legacy. Your brand. So many people forget that. So many people forget to leave their brand, leave their mark, right? And it happens often. You forget that your last name means something. So why not live your very best life? Why not shed this life pandemic of materialism and start focusing on the real you? And get down to the real problem, which is you. It's not about having all that stuff. You know, a question was asked, and it's an odd question, of course. And it's just off topic. Not even off topic, but along these lines. Do you know how many socks you have? No. Do you know how many shirts you have? Nope. At that point, being asked that, it almost, and being on this topic, it's like, oh, okay, well, did buying all those shirts mean I needed to have all that stuff? Some of those shirts I haven't worn in like 2 years. You see, that stuff only brought happiness for a few days. It didn't matter no more. It's been 2 years, it doesn't matter. You don't even know how many socks you have. If you got a new pair of socks, throw a pair out. Give a pair away. Right? And that question was just, it was not odd, but it caught me off guard, woke me up to where, what that have to do with being materialistic? Materialism, having stuff. Having all that stuff, too much stuff that I didn't have it under control, that it actually was controlling me. When it could free up so much more space. Be organized, right? Have understanding. You have clarity of who you are, so you're organized. So little things like that, that's where I think we find a lot of our unanswered questions. In the little things, the little details. And I think that's what we have to continue to evolve. Look into the little things and we will get the big answer. Stop trying to find the big problem for an answer that can be right there. At the end of it all, on this journey of life, it's you versus you. But we do go to battle every day. We do go to war from time and time again. But if you're armored up and prepared for these battles and for war, then you're at victory. So it's our job on this 7 Life Pandemic series to bring out the things that have affected lives around the world and that cannot affect them anymore. So how do we get rid of being, materialistic, selfish, and shallow? We give. We do a house cleansing. Spiritually, physically, emotionally. And we give more. Because I'm positive we can all give a little bit more. We can all shed light on someone's journey. Because at the end of it all, we are the light inside of our own darkness. We just have to see it. We just have to believe it. And we just have to understand it. So through this process of, shedding this life pandemic, we just have to look at the things that matter most. Do we need it? Is it going to benefit me in the long run? Is it going to be something that's going to move me in the right direction? Push me to where I need to go in life? Or is it something that's just a temporary satisfaction that's only going to last for a little bit of time and then disappears? Because that's what society continue to do on your journey. Tell you that you need certain things for a little bit of satisfaction when you're down. Right? Try to get you to go get yourself a pick-me-up, right? Of happiness. When all you have to do is take the time to look within yourself, go to your tools, and be like, you know what? Happiness is within me. I know who I am. I know I matter. I know that I've been through so many battles in life and so many wars, and I still stand strong. That I'm happy that I've made it this far. When you do that, nothing should get in your way. And if it is in your way, it doesn't last forever. It's our job to now see clear with what society the enemy has done for so many years. Because without having understanding and clarity of what the enemy has done for so many years, we will be amongst the masses, amongst the herd. And we will not separate ourselves to know that we are better. Right? So, dive in a little bit. Dive in a little bit on yourself. And see what truly brings you happiness. Right? It can't be stuff anymore. There's no way that it could be stuff. Like writing. Does writing bring you joy? Does reading bring you joy? Does taking long walks bring you joy? Does meditation, does yoga, those small, simple things bring you happiness? Because the enemy will tell you, you know what? Go buy this, go buy that. Go be addicted to this, go be addicted to that. That'll bring you happiness. But what they didn't let you see in that small fine print is temporary satisfaction. They didn't give you that. So us as people that are looking for change, that want to be better, it is our job to find the things that bring joy to our life. That aren't an object. Not something we have to go purchase to be better. Because at the end of the day, we've all done it. Bought something because we were down. I'm feeling like crap today. I'm going to go buy myself something. And then you totally forget about it within a month. It's true. We've all done it. And the killer of it all is the greed. You got to outdo Joe Smo. You got to outdo your neighbor. For what? For a little bit of satisfaction, a little bit of glory, a little bit of shine. When all you have to do is find the shine that's within you, and that's eternity. That's a lifetime. But the enemy wants you to compete with your neighbor. Because they have put that amazing dollar sign on everything. Don't let that control you. Don't let that define you. Let who you truly are prosper into the world. Let that leave your mark. Let that impact someone around the world. Let that touch a life. Because on this journey, man, it is rough. We deal with it daily. You know, when we started this Mega Change Following Some podcast, man, it was rough. And it continues to get rough. Envy, battling you, wanting to be better than you, instead of working together to impact and uplift the world. But see, that's what the enemy wants. Battling. Compete. There only can be one. But when you're on this journey, there can be many. We're all leaders in our own way. But we need to come together to continue to uplift this world and impact the lives that need it most. We must be the change that we seek. So we have to start cutting the ties of excuses, victimization, laziness, and materialistic greed. If we continue to break this life pandemic and we continue to work on ourselves to gain glow and give the world what it truly deserves, we will leave an amazing mark on this world. We too then will be remembered and not forgotten. I thank you so much for joining me tonight on the 7 Life Pandemic series right here on the Make a Change Following Some podcast. Be sure to share these next videos along with the ones that we previously just had. And until we see you next time, remember, be great, be phenomenal, and oh yeah, be unstoppable. It starts with you and it ends with you. And just keep on keeping on. Let's get it.